One of the options we get some questions on is whether or not we fill the joints. So here we have what's called a saw joint. So after the concrete was poured, they came in with a saw and they cut this joint. Over here, we have a different type of joint. This is called a hand joint because they actually come in and they didn't cut this joint. The concrete finisher used a tool and just tooled this in. And so there are two different types of joints. These kind of joints and these kind of joints, they both can be filled. When we fill the joint, what we do is we first clean out the joint, and then we put down a backer rod about a 1/2 inch down. And then we fill it with either an epoxy or polyurea mixed with sand. We're gonna overfill the joint, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna grind that smooth. And so when we install the coating, it's gonna be virtually invisible to see this joint. This is an option that you can add on if you want. There's pros and cons to doing this. The pro is you get a seamless floor. And so as you're sweeping your floor out or spraying it out with a hose, you don't get dirt and debris getting caught in the joint. Okay, so that's the obvious benefit. The downfall is when you're in a garage like this, there's no heater, there's no air conditioner, so you're gonna get a pretty big range in temperature. It could be as low as 35 degrees in here in the winter, and it might be as hot as 100 degrees in the summer. And so anytime you have that much temperature change in a concrete floor, there's a possibility that you're gonna get slight movement between the different slabs of concrete. And so there is a small risk of you getting a little bulge where that joint was filled, because you'll actually get the two different pieces of concrete coming together slightly, and that can create a little bit of a bulge, or if there's a little bit of a separation, you can get a hairline crack. We see this happen less than 5% of the time, so we don't want to dissuade you from filling the joints if it's important to you, but we just want you to know kind of the pros and cons of filling the joints.